Well everyone, Sunstar has done it again. They've taken original animatronics from actual good, hardworking companies and turned them into their own cheap, ugly abominations. And in today's video, I'll be checking them out. Well everyone, we're back with some more Sunstar ripoffs for the 2021 season. Last year, if you remember, I made 2 videos about Sunstar ripping off other companies, which they've really started picking up in recent years. But in today's video, I'll be looking way into the past of some of the ones they made even before last year, before their ripping off went rampant. I'll be looking at some of the other ones that they've actually had ripped off and have been sold for a really long time now. So that's basically what this video will be. I'm going to be kind of playing catch up, but there will be a few new ones sprinkled in, I promise. And don't worry, there's definitely going to be a part 2 to this video, probably sometime in October. I was like making my second part to this the October 1st video, since I always think it works great, but expect it sometime around there. But you won't have to wait too long. It's probably only going to be around in a month when this video comes out, but I'm still really excited to take a look at some of the older ones they've ripped off today. But let's really jump right into this, since I'm really excited to take a look at some more Sunstar ripoffs. So here's the real prop, Tire Swing Zombie Boy from Spirit Halloween 2014, and here's the knockoff. And oh my god, does this thing look awful. But wait, we have a video of this one, so I'll play it right now. Alright, sorry for burning out your retinas and making your ears bleed, but oh my god, this thing is terrible. First of all, it just kicks its legs frantically. It's so stupid, the animation here. And what the hell is the audio? It's not even a little boy's voice. It's just like a grown man laughing, the generic Sunstar laughing audio. Just such an awful, awful ripoff here. But here are some comparison shots you could see. First of all, the face looks terrible. Not any detail whatsoever. You can't even tell it's a zombie. It looks more like a friggin' doll. And the full thing just looks so bad. I'm sure this thing is way smaller than the actual Swinging Zombie Boy 2. It's just such a shame that a pretty cool prop had to get ripped off and made into an awful abomination like this. This thing is just so terrible. You can find it on Amazon right now by Halloween Haunters. They're basically a Sunstar distributor, I guess, but I can't stand this thing. It really does suck. So, starting off, here's the real thing, Roaming Rosie from Spirit Halloween, pretty good roaming prop in my opinion, and here's the knockoff. Oh my god, this thing sucks. This is very blatant, obviously, you can tell right off the bat this is a very clear ripoff of Roaming Rosie, and it just looks so bad. It looks like the typical awful Sunstar crap they put out all the time. I'm sure it's a lot smaller, probably has some of the worst quality you can imagine, and the roaming function probably breaks all the time on it. Now, there is no video, unfortunately, or I should be saying fortunately, but I don't know. This thing is terrible. I'm definitely 100% sure it does have the roaming animation like Roaming Rosie, so didn't even try to make any other animation here. Just the same roaming animation that Roaming Rosie has, and it's just so bad. Definitely one of the most blatant and worst ripoffs we've seen so far, and I just can't stand this one. Here's the real thing, Deadwood from Spirit Halloween, and here's the knockoff. Oh my god, this looks awful. But I will give them credit where credit is due. They obviously were ripping off Deadwood here. You could tell that this is a Deadwood ripoff, but it just looks like I stepped in dog shit. And yeah, that's basically what this guy is. An awful ripoff, and he just looks so bad. First of all, why the hell does he have skeleton hands? He's supposed to be a tree, for Christ's sake. Does this make any sense to anybody? If it does, please let me know. I don't get it. Also, his face looks awful. Just looks like, why is it white? Trees aren't meant to be white. And it looks like the branches sticking out of his head are poo noodles. Like, what is going on here? Definitely one of the worst Sunstar ripoffs. I can't stand this one either. Just get it out of my sight. Here's the real thing, obviously the classic jumping spider. How dare they rip this off? And here's the fake one. Well, they actually did it. They actually ripped off the jumping spider, and I had to play a video since they kind of made it look pretty convincing, but it's not fooling me. This thing looks awful. And it was really only a matter of time, in my opinion. The jumping spider is one of the best-selling Halloween animatronics of all time, and of course Sunstar needs to get their bit of money by stealing that idea pretty much point blank. Obviously, this thing looks awful. Nothing about it looks good. It looks like one of the cheapest things you could possibly buy, and I'm sure it will break after the first activation, to no one's surprise. Also, what the hell is going on with the audio here? It's not even a spider sound, it just screams and it says like Happy Halloween or something like that. Really, I don't know what they were thinking when making this one. Probably just money, money, money. That's why they reused some awful sound effects and made one of the worst quality and worst looking props I have ever seen. Here's the real thing, Techie Toys' classic, the Harvester, and here's the knockoff. Ugh, this one looks awful. Obviously, again, this is a very blatant ripoff. They did an awful job ripping it off, I must say. This thing looks absolute dog. I cannot stand how bad some of these are now. It's just unbearable to look at, in all honesty. I cannot stand looking at these things, but this one is definitely one of their worst yet. They couldn't even be bothered to make a scarecrow head. They just did a stupid skull mold, as they always do, which looks awful, and the scythe is gigantic. It doesn't even make sense for his proportions. Oh my god, I cannot stand Sunstar. This is definitely one of their worsts yet. It's very blatant again, obviously the hat and where the straw is on him. It's just disgusting that they would rip off such an awesome classic prop. And they made him look like a complete ass. And I just cannot stand Sunstar any longer. Get this thing on my site. It's awful. Easily one of the worst yet. You could just see between the two how bad this one is. And yeah, Sunstar, stop. I hate this. This is awful. Here's the real thing, Creepy Towering Clown by SVI and Spirit Halloween for the 2017 season, and here's the knockoff. Oh my god, this thing looks absolutely awful. First of all, they couldn't even get the face right on this one. It's very clearly a ripoff of Towering Clown, even though it's not even a towering prop. It's probably only around 5 feet tall, and they couldn't even get the face to look right. If you're gonna make a ripoff, at least get it looking as closely as possible to the real thing. I mean, come on. And also, his shirt is literally just pretty much a one-for-one ripoff, even though the pattern is a little bit different in some areas. You could definitely tell that this is still trying to be a Towering Clown ripoff. I just cannot stand them doing this. This is easily one of their worst looking ones. Maybe not as bad as some of the past few, but you know, it's another one of those awful Sunstar clowns, and this one is absolutely awful. Again, they really didn't try too hard with this one, so I guess it's not that much of a ripoff directly, but you know, they're still obviously trying to make it look like Towering Clown here. When will they learn to quit? And finally, here we are, the Pumpkin Nester ripoff. Here is the real thing. If you saw the thumbnail, you know what's coming. Probably their worst ripoff of all time, and probably the worst Halloween prop of all time, the Pumpkin Nester ripoff. And here it is, folks. This thing looks awful. First of all, let's start with the head. What even is this? Is it like a foam head or something? It literally looks like a foam head. How do you cheap out this much that you don't even use an actual quality head that won't fall apart instantly? Use a crappy foam head. Oh my god. If you look in, you can literally see it's already chipped in this photo, and this is the stock image. Not really good for impressions here, Sunstar. Also, what is going on with the paint job on the head? This looks like it was done by a preschooler, for Christ's sake. What is going on? I could not even tell what it's supposed to be. It hardly looks like a pumpkin. The only thing that makes it look like a pumpkin is the orange color. And if it was just blank or left white, it would look like a skull. And I cannot stand that face on this thing. And what are the eyes? What is going on with the eyes there? I get they're supposed to be lighted, but it looks so bad. Oh my god. Now, moving down to his other parts of his body, what the hell are going on with his hands? Those are obviously just the cheapest little skeleton plastic hands, painted orange, and very badly painted at that, to make it look like he has orange pumpkin hands. Oh my god. And what is going on with his body and his shirt here? He looks like he's crippled. His legs look all bent out of shape, and his arms look like, I don't even know. This thing looks so bad. And what are the clothes here? It just looks like a piece of black sheet or something just ripped off and thrown on him. This is so bad. And what is this swing he is sitting on? I bet this thing is probably made out of the thinnest cardboard imaginable. So if you even want to use him, he'll probably have to break 7 times before you're even able to get him to stay. Oh my god, this thing is awful. But I will give them this. They got the feet pretty close to the original prop, so good on them there. But otherwise, this is probably the worst Halloween prop I've ever seen in my entire life. This thing is definitely the cheapest, the worst, and the most disgraceful Sunstar ripoff and Halloween prop of all time. Well, everybody, thank you for joining me on this journey through some of the worst Halloween props I've ever seen in my entire life. Sunstar has gone way too far this time, and it's only getting worse from here, so be sure to stick around for the part 2 coming later this season. And be sure to like and subscribe as always, and also check out the merch and my Instagram in the description below. Let me know which was the worst Sunstar ripoff in your opinion in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys think about these awful monstrosities. And as always, this is the Big Sleigh Pumpkin signing out. Ugh, Sunstar, you've done it again.